key note here. That is something you want to do. But somehow you can come out with this minuscule mind of yours and say that that is equal. That they can do something they don't want to do that you can do, that you want to do. How is that equal? You just admitted you can marry somebody that you would want to marry. And you call it equal that they have the same option of marrying that same person when they don't want to marry them. How is that equal?
Thankful that I can do that. I can see why you would be disappointed because you prefer the same gender.
Oh my God, would you please speak faster?
And you would like to marry the same gender. But that's not something that we took away from you. I, like every other male in this country, has the right to marry a female. I, like every other male, do not have the right to marry a male.
And the beauty of it is, if the rest of the country followed the advancements in Vermont and a few other states and said that marriage was the union of two individuals rather than just a male and a female, you would then have a right to marry somebody of the same sex, just like gays. Everybody would have that right. We could marry whoever we wanted, male or female. I would get that right just like a gay person would. So I would actually get more rights. Woo!
Females. Every female has the right to marry a male. Every female does not have the right to marry another female. Single people cannot get married. People act like it's like everyone's allowed to get married except homosexuals. And that's just not true. Like I said, single people aren't allowed to get married either.
Huh? This is the second time you've said that. Where the fuck are you from? What do you mean single people are not allowed to get married? Of course they're allowed to get married. You actually, under our laws, to get married, you have to be single. But yet, repeatedly, you've said that single people can't get married. Yeah, I'm debating a 5-year-old here.
You have to meet the qualifications. Everyone has to meet the same standard.
Yes, being single.
There's no exception for anyone. Now, so what we have here...
Oh, I think I'm getting a headache.
Okay, you have different preferences. You don't have different rights. You have different preferences.
They're not asking for different rights. They're asking for just the right to marry somebody they love.
Rights, but I am not content with my options because I prefer the... you would say that you would prefer the same gender.
Imagine this, Skippy. You have the right to vote. Imagine somebody saying you have the right to vote Democrat. Just like everybody else has the right to vote Democrat. But you can't vote Republican. No, your choice is only Democrat. You have to vote for the Democratic leader. But you do have a right to vote for him. Now, all the people who are registered Democrats would go, wow, great, I get to vote for the guy I want to vote for. But you wouldn't have the option to vote for the guy you want to vote for. You would have the option, just like everybody else, to vote for that Democrat that you don't want. Now, we could all construe that the way you have and play the word game and call that equal rights. But is it truly an equal right? Would you consider that an equal right? Would you be content with saying, well, at least I have the option to vote for the same guy that everybody else has the option to vote for? Not the guy you want to vote for, but you're voting for the guy that everybody else has a right to vote for. Do you really call that having a right to vote? Do you really call that fair? Do you really think that that is an equal right? Somehow I doubt it.
And we would like special rights to accommodate our preferences.
No, no special rights.
Easier, and furthermore, it wouldn't be like an attack on straight people.
So if they said that they're not asking for equal rights, they're asking for special rights. You think that'd be easier and not an attack on straight people? What kind of moron are you, David? How is a gay person saying he would like the same right as you, the right to marry the person of his choice? How is that an attack on straight people? Sure, it would be easier for you if they called it special rights. If they said they wanted the special right to marry somebody of the same sex. But that's not what they're asking for. There's never once in the history of this country, in any state, been a proposition that said gay people want the right to marry somebody of the same sex while keeping straight people from having that option. That would be a special right, David. They're asking just for the right to marry the person they love, which is the right you already have. Understand this. That's all they're asking for. So it's not a special right. You can't construe this into a special right, because in all the states that allow gay marriage, you, as a straight man, also have the right to marry somebody of the same sex. You just choose not to. But you do have that right. Therefore, it would be an equal right, not a special right. How many times do I have to say this to you fucking morons?
You act like we've taken something from you.
You know, to be denied a right doesn't mean you have to have it taken from you. Just not being able to fully enjoy that right is enough to be oppressed. You don't need to have something taken from you. I mean, we could invent some kind of product tomorrow that betters all mankind and then restrict it to just being legally used by gay people. We would not have taken the right from you to use that product because you never had that right. But would that make you feel any better?
We've not taken anything from you. We don't do something to you. What? And for what? Because you prefer to behave this way. This is something that you bring on yourselves.
Yes,
I mean,
they bring it on themselves, but how dare they be who they are?
That goes for it. Another thing I want to go ahead and say is that I am in favor of equal rights for everyone.
No, you're not. You've made that clear.
If there were people who had less rights than me,
there are.
I would not necessarily think that was fair.
You do think it's fair?
Were incarcerated for some reason. I think
because you twisted in that little mind of yours to somehow being fair.
Should have equal rights, and that's the thing, is that we do have equal rights. There's not one right that I have that a homosexual doesn't.
Yes, the right to marry who you love. Plain and simple.
I mean, you can't even prove that a person is homosexual. So
what?
How on earth can they have less rights than someone who's straight? I mean, they don't take a poll, and the government doesn't say, oh, are you gay or straight? If you're gay, then you have less rights. No, you have the same rights. So, I hope that clears it up a little.
No, it actually muddled the waters a little more. How can you say you have to prove somebody to be gay before you can deny them rights? You don't need that. You don't have to say, well, I'll prove he's gay and I'll take his rights away. All you have to do is make a blanket freaking law that would clearly oppress a gay man, and you've then oppressed him. You don't have to prove he's gay to do it. What kind of fucking moron are you?
Because, I mean, I don't think you fully understand how offensive it is to say that.
Well, we're out of time. This is a two-part already. I don't want to go into a third. Listen, he ends it with saying that the people aren't being oppressed, and they've chosen to be gay, or they want gay marriage because it makes them happy. He admits that. But what he fails to understand is that the Constitution also guarantees the right to the pursuit of happiness. And therefore, homosexuals should be allowed to marry the person they love. They should be allowed to seek that happiness. David Lynch, you're a fucking moron. Fuck you.